Research into the trajectories of high achievers reveals a consistent, counterintuitive pattern that precedes their greatest successes. It's a distinct psychological sequence, unfolding with predictable regularity. Most individuals fail to recognize this sequence, as they are conditioned to anticipate overt signals of progress. They await external validation, a clear sign of approval, or a perfectly packaged opportunity to land in their lap. This expectation is fundamentally flawed. The reality of breakthrough is far less dramatic and infinitely more internal. Understanding this process allows you to identify when you are on the cusp of a significant leap, even when external circumstances appear discouraging. It provides a framework to persist when conventional logic would advise retreat. Even when your ingrained survival instincts scream for a return to the comfort of the familiar. For over 15 years, behavioral studies have documented the moments of profound personal and professional transformation. What this body of research reveals will permanently alter your perception of your current challenges. Right now, as you absorb this information, there are specific phenomena occurring in your life that are likely being misinterpreted as mere chance. You may have noted subtle shifts in your environment, seemingly trivial conversations that spark profound insights. A change in your established routines that feels both unsettling and liberating. Unexpected pathways opening up where none existed before. Comments from others that land with unusual weight. These are not random fluctuations. They are data points. They are indicators from your subconscious, signaling that a significant shift is imminent. Your mind's deeper faculties recognize emerging patterns long before your conscious, analytical brain can process them. The primary reason people fail to act during this critical window is a cognitive bias toward a theatrical model of success. They believe achievement arrives announced by fanfare and applause. They assume a life-changing phone call will solve their problems, or that a mentor will appear to grant them permission to proceed. But genuine transformation is heralded by a process that is almost the opposite. It begins with a stage that psychologists term structural unburdening. During this phase, everything that anchors you to your current reality begins to loosen its hold. This happens not through deliberate effort or struggle, but through a natural, almost passive release. Professional connections that no longer align with your future trajectory begin to dissolve. Projects that once consumed your mental energy lose their urgency. Core beliefs that once formed the bedrock of your identity suddenly feel antiquated and restrictive. This is not a regression. It is a recalibration. It is not a sign of failure. Your life is systemically creating the necessary space for what is to come. This phase, however, contains a critical vulnerability. Most individuals react to this unburdening with alarm. They perceive the dissolution as proof that they are moving backward. They scramble to reinforce the very structures that are dismantling, desperately trying to preserve the status quo. They fail to grasp that they are actively resisting their own progress. They cannot comprehend that the very things they are clinging to are the obstacles preventing the arrival of what they have worked to achieve. Following the unburdening comes the sensory heightening phase. In this stage, your internal world intensifies. Your emotional spectrum broadens. Your intuitive insights become sharper and more frequent. Your sensitivity to your environment increases. You begin to perceive connections and patterns that were previously invisible. The barrier between your conscious awareness and subconscious processing becomes more permeable. During this period, you might engage in conversations with new acquaintances that feel uncannily relevant to your goals. You may stumble upon books, studies, or articles that directly address the problems you are silently contemplating. You might awaken with fully formed solutions to complex issues. Your subconscious is working overtime, integrating vast amounts of data. This is not a flight of fancy or wishful thinking. Your cognitive framework is expanding to match the complexity of the reality you are about to create. You are being upgraded to handle a new level of operation that your previous self could not have sustained. I'll pause for a moment to say what's customary in these moments. If these ideas resonate with you and you'd like this dialogue to continue and grow, the best way to support it is by subscribing. It's not just a number, it's a signal to the algorithms that something valuable is happening here. Next is the phase of future echoes. This is when you begin to experience small, tangible manifestations of your desired outcome. Minor victories, unexpected acknowledgments, or small-scale opportunities that seem to materialize from nowhere. A moment of profound clarity where the entire path forward becomes visible in an instant. These echoes serve a crucial function. They are not the final outcome, but a dress rehearsal. They are building your neurological and psychological capacity to inhabit your future success. Because the unspoken truth about major breakthroughs is that they require an entirely new version of yourself to be sustained. The person you are today is not equipped to manage the reality of the person you will become. These echoes are progressively rewiring your identity, showing you what it feels like to be someone who generates success, rather than someone who endlessly strives for it. Yet, this is where many falter. Immediately following these positive echoes, life will present what appears to be the most formidable obstacle you have ever faced. This is not a coincidence. This is the apex challenge. It is a final stress test designed to verify one thing: whether you have truly integrated the identity required to receive what is coming. This test is rarely straightforward. It does not arrive with a clear label or a set of instructions. It typically manifests as your deepest fear realized. The precise scenario you have spent your life avoiding suddenly appears. For an innovator, it might be a catastrophic systems failure just before a major product launch. For a scientist, it could be the abrupt withdrawal of funding for their primary research project. For an artist, it might be a fire in their studio, destroying their life's work. The challenge is calibrated to trigger your deepest insecurities, your most limiting beliefs, and every rationalization you've ever constructed as to why you are not worthy of success. It will sound like your own voice of reason, whispering that you were delusional, that you were reading patterns into chaos, that it's time to be more practical and settle for less. This is your old identity's last, most sophisticated attempt to maintain control. It will use your own intelligence against you, making a compelling, logical case for why you must abandon your course just short of the finish line. The people in your life may also react in unexpected ways. Some will become unsettled by your growth, trying to pull you back into familiar dynamics without understanding why. Others will challenge your new perspective, their skepticism a reflection of their own comfort with the status quo. They are not acting with malicious intent. They are reacting to the energetic dissonance. Your evolution implicitly challenges their stagnation, creating an unconscious desire to restore equilibrium by pulling you back to their level. This is the point of surrender for most. Faced with overwhelming pressure, the allure of safety, and the fear of the unknown, they retreat. They rationalize their decision, concluding that such breakthroughs are reserved for others. But your presence here, your engagement with these ideas, suggests you are not most people. You are someone prepared to withstand the friction of transformation. Someone who intuits that the scale of the resistance is a direct measure of the scale of the impending success. When you recognize this final challenge for what it is, a confirmation, not a condemnation, your entire perspective shifts. You cease fighting the current and begin to use it. You understand that every past failure was a lesson, every setback a strategic repositioning. The breakthrough does not occur in spite of the apex challenge. It occurs because of it, and when it arrives, its effects are not isolated. Success begins to cascade across all domains of your life. Opportunities compound. the right collaborators and partners begin to seek you out. Resources flow from unforeseen sources. The most significant change, however, is internal. You do not merely get different results. You become a different person, someone who operates from a core of trust because you have witnessed the intricate mechanics of the process firsthand. If you recognize these patterns in your own life, you must understand the gravity of this moment. The structural unburdening you have felt, the sensory heightening, the future echoes, they are all part of a coherent process. And the apex challenge is on the horizon, or perhaps it is already here. You may be in the midst of it, questioning your own strength. You have it. The fact that these concepts resonate is your confirmation. And to conclude, a small exercise. If you've reached this point and felt an internal shift, solidify that state. Write the phrase, "I am ready for the recalibration," in the comments below. Let this not just be a comment, but your personal declaration, the point from which change begins. Your breakthrough is not just a possibility, it is a pending event. The signs are data points. The synchronicities are confirmations. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Your victory is already a fact. Now you must simply allow it to unfold.